Good morning, everybody. I really sincerely hope I'm talking loud enough because I feel like I can't bring myself to talk very loud this morning. I'm just not feeling super well. I didn't sleep last night and I haven't slept in a while, hot minute, but definitely not last night, and it seems to be acting up. And I ended up awake at like 4 a.m. sitting there just like drifted off daydreaming. So I'm assuming if you clicked on this video, you know what maladaptive daydreaming is. I only just found out what that is, but thanks to some very kind people not being too embarrassed to share their stories, because honestly, I'm a little embarrassed because like if I think too hard about it, it's pretty crazy and weird. The way that like my brain is coping with reality, which isn't well, I guess. But like I find that this symptom, I find that maladaptive daydreaming is a symptom of something, because yes, I do it all the time, but it's not classified as some kind of disorder. Plus there are other symptoms included in this, so I assume if there's other symptoms, it's not just the daydreaming excessively part, that there must be something else, but I don't know what it is. But I'm too poor to go to a doctor, so I'm not gonna do that. And I keep finding myself looking this way, but I don't know. So I find myself daydreaming, like, I don't know if it can be considered daydreaming. So every one of you out there talking about maladaptive daydreaming, at first, of course it hit me very much like that's what I'm doing, I'm daydreaming. But to me, it doesn't quite feel like daydreaming. It feels a little bit different. Also, I didn't see any black people making videos about this. I don't know if that's part of it. I don't know if it's more like prevalent in white folks or not. I don't know, but I didn't see any black people making videos about maladaptive daydreaming or any other things that came along with me researching maladaptive daydreaming, which autism, DID, multiple personality disorder, antisocial person, all these disorders came up when I was researching my symptoms, and especially like the whole tick thing when it comes to like autism, because I do that a lot. I'm literally just realized I was doing it right now with my hair. So the reason why I put my hair like this is so I can sit here and obnoxiously mess with it, because I'm like, I have to have something to do with my hands all the time. But anyway, another symptom, I can talk about that later. It's not really the point. The point was the whole maladaptive dreaming thingy. But I woke up at 4 this morning to literally dream, but awake, but consciously. And I was thinking it might have something to do with the fact that I don't sleep, and I rarely like dream because I don't sleep all the way. Like I rarely ever get to the point of like the REM sleep where you are like asleep, after REM sleep. I don't know, whatever it is, part of sleep where it's like you're like asleep and you start to dream. I feel like I never get that. I feel like I don't get to that point. Or maybe I do and I don't realize it, or I don't get enough of it. Either way, I ended up awake this morning, just sitting there daydreaming. But to me, like I was saying earlier, it doesn't feel like daydreaming because there's so much more to it than that. And I know that like they call it maladaptive daydreaming for the fact that it's maladaptive, which means you're doing it to cope, basically, with not being able to focus on reality or something like that. I'm not a doctor, but that's the consensus. That's what I got from it. But it feels different than that, because I often find myself, and this is really embarrassing to say, so like, please don't come for me in the comments or anything, but like, it's really embarrassing, but like, because I feel crazy, that's why it's embarrassing. It's not like I don't necessarily care what other people think about me. It's just embarrassing because it makes me feel like I'm crazy. But like, it comes with like, I don't want to say hallucinations, because I'm not sure that it's hallucinations. I feel like there's other people with me when I'm daydreaming. Like, all the videos that I watch were saying, when they're daydreaming, it's this huge fantasy world inside their head, and it's like deeper than, normal people's daydreams, because if you're normally daydreaming, you're like thinking about what if you won the lottery, or, like if you're going to the park, you're like kind of daydreaming about, oh, I'm gonna have like a great time at the park. Like, it's a little bit different than regular daydreaming, right? Whereas for us, it's probably like if you watch a Harry Potter movie, we're gonna sit there in our brains inserting ourselves in the Harry Potter movie for 3 hours. Like we could be watching the whole Harry Potter movie and not actually be watching the movie, and instead we're playing the movie in our brains with us as characters in the movie. If that makes sense, that's sort of like, I guess, I mean, if you're watching this, you probably know what I'm saying. So, I think that's what everybody sort of feels about it. It's kind of like if you read a book. If you really like reading books, and you're that person that reads a book and you can feel yourself in the book. Like, I feel like it's like that, but all the time. And for me, I can't control it. I don't know if some people can control it, but I cannot control it. I will find myself in it all the time, as in I wake up, like I snap out of it like this. Oh my God, I was just like dreaming really hard. But like I said, for me, it feels a lot like a hallucination, because I don't know what hallucinations are like. Let's just put it that way. I do not know. So for me, in my brain, it feels a lot like a hallucination, because when I'm daydreaming, I can use objects, and that like makes me feel more comforted. Like my pillow is like my favorite thing to talk to. That is so embarrassing. My pillow is like my favorite like character that I talk to all the time, except obviously it's not a pillow at the time. It's like a person, and I'm usually just like blah blah blah, like gabbing to that person. And I don't just do it in my head, so sometimes I will talk to it out loud. And if I don't realize I'm doing it until I'm doing it, until I'm speaking out loud, staring at my pillow and like laughing and having a full conversation. Just like I'm literally staring at my pillow, laughing, having a full-on conversation. I mean, you can literally, like, if I need a hug, my pillow will legitimately hug me. I can sensationally, I can feel it hugging me. That is so sad. See, and that's another issue, is when I've never said this out loud, and when I say it out loud, it just furthers my, like, spiraling into, like, what the fuck? But it's not just, that, I don't know, it's like I find myself just like waking up or not sleeping so that I can sit there and daydream. Anyway, the scary part is finding myself talking out loud to other people and other inanimate objects. Like I said, I don't know if I'm hallucinating, but it feels a lot like a hallucination, because I often find myself snapping out of it and not realizing it happened, and then losing like 2 hours of time. So with this, it's not, I feel like, since I can't talk to a therapist about it, you guys are my therapist, so hope you're enjoying my little talk here. But so this has been happening to me for so long that I watched another video, and this girl said the same thing, and I really appreciate her saying this, because I would not have been able to bring myself to say this. But she said that she had this male figure who was like a father figure to her since she was younger, who she imagined in her head, right? And like the other person did not reciprocate, because he doesn't know what's going on inside her head. And that just really hit hard for me, because like I just realized I had the same thing. Like, it took me, for her saying that, for me to be like, oh my God, like I was doing the same thing, and it sounds like I'm psychotic. Like, am I like a stalker? Am I crazy? I might be. I don't know. But I had the same thing. I have characters that play out in different stories in my head. Like, yes, I have voices in my head. I'll say that for another video, because it's one of the other symptoms. But, I've had this person, I don't really want to go into detail about the person, because it's really embarrassing. But there's more than one. There's a few. I've had a few people that have been like my father figures, like best friends, like weird type things since as long as I could remember. And another one of my symptoms is the missing chunks of time. So like basically as far back as I can remember is like the end of high school. I think like my last year of high school is the first year that I can remember scattered memories like somewhat well, which means I can barely remember high school at all. Like even the last year, but I have like pieces from that last year that are easier to access than anything before that. So it looks sort of like, if you guys remember those old film strips when you used to go like turn your cameras into Walgreens, you get like the old film strips. It looks like a film strip with like missing like pieces. So if you like roll it out and look at it, it's like there's an image there and it's blank, and there's an image and it's blank, and there's an image. So then it doesn't really make up one whole image. It's just kind of like a scattered story. That's what it looks like for like my senior year. But before that, there's like, it's nothing. There's nothing there. It's gone. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing when I was 12. Like, was I in space? Like, if I know, hell no. I guess I was. I was in space somewhere. My brain was in space, I guess. Because I don't even remember being any ages. I remember like very scattered small pieces of ages past, but most of growing up, I don't remember any of what my siblings looked like when they were kids or anything like that. I have people from school that know me, like I was like their friend in school, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. Sorry. So in my head, there's multiple people who I have, I guess, been creating a life for in my brain for for a lot of years. I don't know, for a lot of years, basically since I was like in high school. I'm sure it was before I was in high school. It's just that I can't remember a whole lot before that. If I try to think back, the thing is, if I try to think back, I get anxiety and I get stressed, and then I can't remember anything, and that gives me more anxiety and more stress. So I'm not gonna try to remember anything. So I make this video a lot more sad and a lot more depressed and a lot more weird than it already is. As she was saying that, I was thinking, oh my God, like I never really thought to myself, like, this person doesn't know me. Like, I don't know. I never thought that to myself. I just never had any like inkling that what I was doing was like kind of strange or anything. And maybe it's not. I mean, to me it feels strange, but maybe it's not. But anyway, so the main point of this maladaptive daydreaming is I would really like to know if anybody else feels these like almost like hallucinations, or if they feel so real to you that you can talk to them outside of your head. I want to know if you look out into your living room when you're daydreaming and you're thinking about, you know, your world inside your paracosm. Is that, I don't remember. If you're thinking about this world, can you see these people? Can you see this world? Because I can. Like, it's almost like if I can picture an apple in front of me and I can see an apple. I don't know if that's normal. That might be normal, but for me, it feels like everything that goes on in my head is not limited to my head, and that's kind of scary because I thought about it, and as I was consciously trying to be conscious of my daydreams, I was thinking, oh my God, once I was conscious of my daydreams, I was thinking, oh my God, I was just talking and acting out everything, not in my head. I was doing it out loud, and that really freaked me out. If you give me 1 second, I have it saved on my phone, because I had to write down all my other symptoms, which is a part of my symptoms, is that I have to write things down, or so I will forget instantaneously. Let me, actually, you know what, I'll insert a picture of it if I can, like right there, because I feel like that's easier. But some of my other symptoms are loss of memory, like completely, like most of my memories, sorry the sun is beaming down, most of my memories from being ever are gone. But then I can't also remember like day-to-day things. So like if I'm having a conversation with somebody, I should save this for another video. I'll save this for another video. I'll put all my symptoms up here if you guys can help me. If anybody in this community is watching this video, I feel like nobody's gonna watch this video, and then I'm gonna be stuck with like more confusion than when I started. But if anybody is watching this video, please let me know. And I don't know, I have all these other symptoms, so I'm kind of wondering what else it could possibly be. Disassociation was definitely one of the like major symptoms, because I often find myself, like, even when I'm just talking to somebody, like, I'll blank completely and find that I wasn't listening, but that I don't remember thinking about anything. So while I was, like, disassociated, I wasn't daydreaming. Like, I wasn't sitting there, like, having this, like, fun world inside my head while my friend was talking. That's not what was happening. Like, my friend would be talking to me, and I'd notice that I was, like, blurry and, like, cross-eyed and, like, not present at all. And when you bring yourself back to being, like, present from not being present, is a lot of anxiety. Because it's just, like, it's, like, really scary, because it's, like, I was listening, and I was, like, consciously listening to my friend talk, but then I, like, consciously realized that, like, I couldn't remember what they were talking about. As if I wasn't listening. But, like, I know I was listening, because even later, it's almost like later I can still almost, like, if I think back on it, it's like it's there, the conversation's there, it's in my brain. But it's like at the time of this person saying it, I feel like I was only half there. Like, I was only half listening. And then I'll find that, like, in the middle of a sentence, like, my mind will just go blank. I said I wasn't going to list all the other symptoms, but I feel like these kind of relate to the daydreaming, because at first I thought I was daydreaming while, like, I was just, like, not present. But then at the same time, I thought to myself, like, I consciously know when I'm daydreaming, because I find myself talking out loud. I did it the other day when I was in the car. Somebody else was in the car with me. And I was, like, having a whole conversation with the other person in my brain. And I told a joke, or actually the other person in my head told a joke. It wasn't me. The other person in my brain told a joke, who, I guess I didn't mention that the other person in my head, like, isn't necessarily me, I guess, I don't know. But she told a joke, and I laughed out loud in the car. And I was like, I started laughing in the car. And this person was looking over at me like, what the fuck are you laughing at? And I was like, oh, I didn't say that joke out loud. Yeah, maladaptive daydreaming can be a son of a bitch. Sometimes I really don't realize I'm doing it, and I do it, like, probably, like, 75% of the day. So, like, I think I spend most of my day in another world. But like I said about it, I felt a lot of people were saying that they spend a lot of time in their world, which is in their head, but I feel like, I don't know if other people had that, but it's not limited to being inside my head. Like, I can see the world outside of my head that isn't the real, like, world. Like, if I look outside or drive around outside, it's like I can almost put, like, a rose-colored glasses over the world, like a lens or a filter, and then it's just, like, my inside world, but it's, like, half outside. Please let me know what you guys think. I feel like I just started this channel so I could not feel so alone. I think part of the reason I daydream so much is because I'm just always alone, honestly. Could be part of it. I don't know. Please subscribe to my channel. I would love to be a part of this maladaptive daydreaming community, even though I know it's only part symptom of what else is going on, but it's one of the biggest issues that I have. So, yeah. Also, if there are any black folks with this problem, point them my direction, because not that I have a problem with watching videos with white people who have this issue, it just seems a lot like I might be the only black person, which is really strange, and I would like to know if I'm not. So, please subscribe to my channel. Please leave me a comment. Some words of encouragement would be honestly incredible. I was, like, crying at 4 o'clock in the morning, like, because I couldn't sleep, and I was so stressed because I wanted to sleep, but all I could think about was daydreaming. I don't even call it daydreaming. I'm gonna call it conscious dreaming, because it wasn't even daytime. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. It's fucking dark outside. And a lot of times not. Like, a lot of times I will be up at 1 in the morning just daydreaming. It's like, it's not a daydream. And also, it's not, like, just in my brain, so I feel like I'm just gonna call it conscious dreaming. I don't know. Like, I made up a new word for it. Anyway, please help me out in the comments if you don't mind. I don't want to feel like I'm insane. for any longer. Also, I really need, I didn't mention this, I totally forgot. Please stay with me for just another minute. I totally forgot. But I didn't mention this, but like, I think because of all this conscious daydreaming, maladaptive shit, conscious dreaming, I call it daydreaming again. Daydreaming is really hard to get past. Because of all this like conscious dreaming, I feel like I can't eat or sleep. Like, I don't know if that's part of it, but like, I go through days of not eating or sleeping because I think I'm eating and sleeping in my... Hi. Editing me. I forgot to finish that last sentence, but what I was saying was, because I felt like I think it's because I feel like I live like a full life in my daydreams, that maybe I don't like feel the like energy to eat or drink or sleep, is what I was trying to say. I don't think that came out very clear. Anyway, thanks for watching my video. It's kind of silly. Okay, bye.